Okay, everyone, I think we're live here from the Whispers Estate. Um, kind of had one of those afternoons and evenings where if something can go wrong, it certainly will go wrong, and I will take 100% of responsibility for stressing out my good buddy here, Brad Martin. And I don't even know where to begin, but I'll just use old age as an excuse, and I'll stand by that right now. Do want to welcome everyone that has tuned in. I know this is kind of a last minute thing, but it's not often that I get an opportunity to have someone here live with us that's such an experienced investigator and such a wonderful young lady. She's going to be our guest tonight, Sharon Fay Heverin. And Sharon, I think you're what, from the Louisville area? Am I right?
Yeah, New Albany.
Okay, and the correct way to pronounce it. My family, being from Kentucky, pronounced it as Louisville, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
not Louisville.
so once again, we are doing our best here to get one of these out every month or two now. So once again, it's been about 3.5 months since we did one, but life happens. And once again, when we can do a podcast here from the house, we get pretty excited about it. We are in the servants' quarters right now and positioned here right in front of Virgil's closet. And as we were trying to set this up, and Brad was over here working his heart out trying to get this ready to go tonight. Sharon and I heard something behind us, and she looked at me real seriously and said, "We have nowhere to go." And I'm saying, "Yeah, we're kind of boxed in here right now." But once again, if you're unfamiliar with the Whispers Estate, we're down here in Mitchell, Indiana. The best way to contact us is probably through our website. It's a real simple address, www.whispersestate.com. And we do all for all night private group investigations. You just got to go to the website, click on where it says book a date, and it will give you two calendars, one that's a Sunday through Thursday calendar, and the other one is a Friday and Saturday calendar. If you want to come during the week, if the date is available to you, it's in green. You just click on it and put in your personal information. You're good to go. And the same way at the weekend calendar, Friday and Saturday, if that date is available, you just click on it and put in your information. And once again, you're ready to go. And our investigations are from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. And we offer a quick tour of the house if you want one, if you've never been here before. If you want to go in dry and dark, that's fine as well. We don't take that personal. So on our end, whatever you want, we just want our visitors to be happy and enjoy being at the house. Since we're going out live here in just a little bit, we'll probably put a number up if you want to call us and ask any one of us a question. Our guest Sharon or myself or Brad will be more than happy to do that. Once we go and open that phone up, we'll put that number and make it available. Just remember, folks, I only have two rules if you decide to call in. Number one, no profanity. Believe it or not, there are young people who listen to these podcasts and watch them. And once again, I just don't want any profanity on the website or the podcast. And secondly, I'd ask that you treat Sharon, our guest, and Brad, myself, with respect. Don't call in with a volatile, combative attitude. We'll just hang up on you. I'm at the point now where I just don't want to have someone calling in and saying that's all fake and you people are faking stuff in the house. Once again, if you don't believe in this, that's fine. You don't have to watch the podcast, but if you do believe in it, we just encourage you to come to the house if you've never been here, and hopefully you'll have one of those um, nights that will be at the very least memorable. The history of the house alone makes it worth a visit. So I'm going to right now just introduce to you Sharon Fay Heverin, and Sharon and I've known each other for, I'm guessing, what, about 4 years now.
Yeah,
I think the
about
first
three actually.
yeah,
Three.
yeah, I think the first time Sharon come to the house, she was pretty, and still is pretty strongly connected with one of my favorite places to visit. And that's the Waverly Hills Sanitarium down in Louisville, and she's been back to the house repeatedly, and I do appreciate her support here and how she shares with people some of the amazing things that's happened to her while in the house. So, Sharon, I think you and I talked earlier. I just kind of have like three or four questions I
Mm-hmm.
ask anyone's going to do this with us. So, the first question, and we'll turn the floor over to you. Um, at what point or how did you get involved and get interested in the paranormal? Was there a personal experience when you were younger, or is this something that you just naturally gravitated towards as you became an adult? How did you personally find yourself in a situation you've traveled around the United States and investigated some of the most notable haunted locations in the country?
So I got started as a kid. I started having experiences and seeing shadows and different kinds of spirits in my home. And then I grew up watching Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans and just fell in love with the paranormal. And then when I was old enough, I got a job at Waverly Hills, and that was the mother lode of all ghosts. So it just made me want to go out and find answers to the unknown, and I still am looking for answers.
Yeah, Waverly, if you haven't been there, what an amazing location. And the very first time I ever did anything remotely connected to investigating, my son had just turned 21, and he and my nephew, two of my nephews, we decided we wanted to go to Waverly Hills, and we did the quick. I think it was a 2-hour flashlight tour, and I went in as this massive skeptic,
Mhm.
almost a cynic, but definitely a skeptic. And I got to the point by the end of that flashlight tour where I wasn't a full believer, but I knew at some point there's something going here that just intrigued me as a person. So, yeah, if you haven't visited Waverly Hills, my goodness gracious, I bet we could spend all night you talking about your experiences there.
Oh, yes.
So, a second question I usually ask people, can you just share some of the more notable locations you've been? Obviously, you've been to Waverly Hills probably more times than you can count. I know you've been to Whispers probably 7, 8, 10 times. Are there any other locations regionally or nationally that really come to mind when you think about your own experiences as an investigator?
Yeah, for sure. The Madison Seminary in Ohio. I love that location. That's the first place I've seen two full body apparitions in one night. That place is extremely haunted. Great location. I also love Fairfield County Infirmary. That's another really haunted location. I've seen some crazy shadow people there, knocks, things being moved. Those are my two favorite, I would have to say, besides Whispers being number one.
Okay. I'm a little jealous. I've been doing this for 12 years now and have yet to see that coveted apparition. And I talk to so many people that get to see them. And I don't know, maybe I'm one of those people that I'm not meant to see one. Maybe I'm so closed off to it. I just don't know. So I am a little jealous that you saw two in one location. So I'm hoping. My only goal is if I see one, I don't really want to be by myself.
Yeah.
Um, I'd rather experience that with a group or at least one or two other people so I can confirm one that we all, witness the same thing. And then secondly, so I don't, turn into a coward and take off running or something. So that's the least thing I, want to do in that level. How did you, at what point, I guess I say, how did you hear about the Whispers Estate? Could you share that with us, your first,
Yeah. I worked at Waverly, and a bunch of the other people that worked there kept bringing up Whispers Estate and was like, "You have to go check this place out." And I was like, "Okay, sure." They're like, "It's the darkest, scariest place we've ever been, so you have to go." And I was like, "All right." And so it was my first trip outside of Waverly was here, and I fell in love with it. And I've been back quite a few
yeah,
times.
you, and I guess your new group, who are the two
I
gentlemen?
hang out with Clayton Ghost Chaser and Jake the Ghost Hunter.
Okay, and there you guys actually have a visit planned for Tuesday
Yeah,
night of
we'll be
this
here
week.
Tuesday night.
Okay, that is just awesome, and I'm going to do my best to get down here and meet those gentlemen. You've said such nice things about them. I did see the video you posted a few months ago about your experiences down the hallway
Yes.
here. Would you like to elaborate on that
Yes, I would
exactly?
love to. So I keep hearing footsteps over there. It's
Yeah,
distracting
I
me.
was just trying to
Um,
say.
so we were in Jesse's room, and I was under Estes, and Clayton was asking questions, and it had mentioned something about wanting us to go upstairs or something like that. And Clayton says, "Well, who do you want up there?" And then at the same time, the music box goes off. We hear a baby doll from Rachel's room, and it goes, "He wants you." And then you hear this blood curdling, "Oh!" scream, and it terrified us.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, where could someone find that
It
video?
is on my TikTok, which is underscore Sharon Faye underscore, or it is also, I'm pretty sure, on Jake's and Clayton's, all their social media, because it's pinned. It was pretty great.
Yeah, the first time you sent that to me, it's been a few months back, and just by the look on your face, and okay, this is going to be interesting, and to see three season investigators respond like that, I just, oh my goodness, that is just one of the most intense things I've seen, and I think I was sharing with you just earlier. I think it was last week sometime. I was leaving Rachel's room, and I was with Kim Marie Reed, and she was ahead of me. And as we left Rachel's room, we heard the doll laugh. Well, and I've never heard one of those dolls
Mhm.
laugh like that. And no one was near the bed or anything. And I think you said you went around
Yeah.
and confirmed that the only way you could get any of those dolls to make noises like push on
Mhm.
their tummy or something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So that was an interesting experience for me. And then the minute that happened, I thought about you and your team. I said, "My goodness, if it says something like a intelligent response, I'm probably going to run downstairs pretty quickly."
He wants you.
you know, in my own experiences, I never have a whole lot of what I would say activity or incidents happen to me personally. I've had one pretty significant moment in the house where Rachel's door slammed while I was doing a quick live walkthrough in the house, and I was by myself that night. And people watched that video and laughed because my response, I sound like, you know, one of the Three Stooges, you know. And I don't know where to run. I don't want to run towards the door slamming, or I don't want to run into the servants' quarters. So I just eventually just made it down those front stairs. But that's probably the most significant thing that's happened to me in a house by myself. But I've seen dozens and dozens of things happen to other people, whether they get touched, whether they get scratched. And did you not? I think earlier we were talking. Did you not say that you have been touched and scratched and hair pulled and everything in the
Oh
house? Is
yeah,
that
yeah. I've been scratched. Jake has been scratched here. That night we had that screen. He got scratched. I've had my hair literally pulled so hard in the doctor's office, my head hit the wall. Yeah. Scratch it, just little touchy feely stuff. It just, you can just feel somebody trying to hold your hand. Those sensations.
Yeah, I just, you know, when I first started this, I was such a skeptic when someone would tell me that. Even after I've owned the house now for 5 years, it's hard to believe. Back March 5th was the 5th year anniversary I bought the house. And even then, when I'd be with people and someone would tell me, hey, something just pulled my hair or something just touched me, you know, the skeptic in me go, are you sure? You sure? You know, your mind, our minds can do things to us. But, you know, I've had it happen to so many people now that I just know, you know, someone like you that's so sincere about what you're doing. I just know now that people are definitely not only at whispers but at other locations or experience things that, you know, I personally, I've never been touched, I've never been scratched or anything like that. So not saying I want that to happen per se.
Right.
But I'm just one of those people that maybe that just isn't meant to be part of my you know, experiences in doing this. Maybe I'm just not open to it enough, or I just have no idea why I've never on a personal level experienced that. I did want to ask you one more question, and then I think Brad, are we pretty close to opening up the phone here?
Yeah.
Okay. um, I borrowed this from Sandra. Sandra is the house manager. If you don't know Sandra, she's my buddy and
Love her.
just an amazing
She's
lady,
awesome.
and has some of the scariest stories
Mhm.
about the house that I don't know. I know she and her sister had an experience in the attic, and her sister had been a major player in this field, you know, as on a state level, and I think she completely retired from investigating about 10 years ago. And Sandra still, when she tells this story, every time she tells it to me, what occurred in the attic, still makes the hair, you know, stand up
Mhm.
on the back of your neck. So Sandra calls this, and like I said, I was talking earlier. I don't want to use profanity, but I'm going to use one word that's, I wouldn't say it's profanity, but it's just kind of a, you know, it's just a nasty word, okay? But Sandra calls it the oh shit moment. And do you have one or more of
I
those?
have
And
a
it is
few, if that's okay.
okay. That's quite all right. And they don't have to just be from the Whispers Estate. Anywhere you've experienced this, because once again, on my view, we just want as many people interested in this and trying to find out what's going on with this. So, you know, on my end, I love to hear about what people experience in other locations,
Of
as I've
course.
traveled with some friends and been to a whole bunch of different locations myself. So yeah, if you have more than one,
I
that
do.
would just be awesome.
Well, I have to say all of them, the oh moments are here. I've had some really good experiences and great evidence at other locations, hands down. Like really cool stuff. I mean, seeing a full body apparition is amazing, but I wasn't scared. Being actually scared would be here. The obviously the one that we talked about earlier, but I had two others that were quite terrifying. I was doing B-roll up here, and I walked from this room all the way down to Jesse's room, and I had the lights on, just trying to get B-roll. And I was in the room, and I literally heard hoof prints clop, clop, clop down the hallway towards me. And my biggest fear is to see a goat, man. Like about everything, I'm
Okay.
terrified to see one.
Yeah.
And I actually hid behind the door in Jesse's room and cried. Like I had actual tears. I was frozen, like could not move.
And you were up here by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I was terrified. And then the other one was the house just got a weird vibe. It was like around 3, and it just got a really weird vibe. And I had brought my cousins who had never ghost hunted before, and I was like, I think we should leave. Once you've been doing this a while, you know when we should leave. And we packed up all of our equipment, and we were literally walking to the door. My hands were full of cases. Go to grab the front door, and the door to the top of the stairs opened, and something said "Do-do-do-do-do" all the way down the stairs and ran at me. And I swung that door open so fast, and I went out there and closed it. And I said, I'm not going back in there to close that door. I was done.
So you actually could sense that night that the
Hmm.
house had changed, the feeling of the
Yeah.
house,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And I experience that a lot in the house. I bring students here, friends like Brad and his wife Michelle, uh, Kim Kinser, Kim Reed, people that I'm close to, people I care about. And we have experienced, I can just be in this house with certain people sometimes, and I can just feel that it gets that it just changes. You can almost, and it will go the different direction where the house can be extremely active, and
Hmm.
then you can just kind of feel whatever energy was here just kind of dissipates and kind of goes away. So I think it does go in both directions. I told the gentleman from Paranormal Files, the main guy, I always forget his name. Long blonde hair guy.
Oh my gosh. I always do.
Isn't that terrible?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
I am
awful
too.
with names.
Yeah, yeah, they had about four hundred
But he's
thousand.
amazing. He's amazing,
Yeah,
guys. He's amazing.
they had about 400,000 people watch their video from the house. And here I can't remember his first name, but um, I told them on their visit during the tour, I said, probably the only thing I can ever say that's consistent about Whispers Estate is when I'm here, I almost always feel like something's watching me.
Mhm.
Even if I'm by myself in the house, I never really feel 100% comfortable. It's like there's something like it's just observing me, not in necessarily a negative way, but I don't know if you felt that like you're being watched in
Oh,
the
yeah.
house.
Oh, yeah.
It's
All the
just
time. And
yeah.
you can't walk in here and be alone. You're never alone in here.
Yeah, it's something that I've never really gotten used to. I visited the house for about 4 years before I bought it, and then when I bought it, like I said, just recently, it'd been a 5 year anniversary of buying the house. I don't know if I've ever just completely acclimated to that feeling where I just get used to it, and maybe I never will. I don't know. I've been to other places, just hadn't been that. I guess it's been a couple years ago. I went to the Monroe House and up in northern
Hmm.
Indiana, and just had the weirdest night up there, just where there was knocking the whole night, and I'd been there 3 or 4 times, and nothing significant. But that last visit, it was similar to what I've experienced in the house, where there's just constant knocking, footsteps, walking, and all that good stuff. But am I right in saying that you and your new group, you guys had the Panasonic?
Oh, yes, the
Yes.
DR. We have the doctor. They have the. Well, they have it. I do not. I just get to take advantage of it. But
Yeah.
yes, they both have a DR60.
Yeah, the DR60, and Brad's yet to get to experience it because he's never been here when a crew comes in with
It's
it. But
amazing.
it just changes the whole game, doesn't it? And
It
I know
does.
they sell for $3,000 or something like that on um, eBay, and
Yep.
and I guess I at some point I'm just going to have to, break down and buy one. But just the thought of buying a little handheld recorder and paying that kind of money, but it changes the game to
It
me on a
does.
level that there's just nothing quite like it when you have access to
Oh,
one of
yeah.
them. So, Brad, did you say we have the phones pretty much ready to go?
Yeah, we do. We do have a low
You have
rate.
what? I'm sorry, buddy.
I don't know. Are we getting interruption? Anybody say anything?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Hey, let us know if your our internet may be slow. So let us know if you're having issues.
Jake said my moment happened at Whispers too.
What's that?
Jake said my moment happened at Whispers
Okay.
too.
All right.
Yeah, we may have to work on this a little bit
Okay.
in the
Are we
future.
are we getting interrupted
Let
or?
me ask him.
It's jerky,
Okay. Well,
but we'll have to get through it
Yeah.
tonight.
I will take 100% responsibility for everything that's been less than perfect tonight. I have a really nice Rode uh, podcast
It's
mixer,
like
and I just completely, I think I've lost it. I have no idea what I've done with it. I thought I'd left it here, and we got here, and I had all the other materials, but I didn't have the main things. So Brad has had to kind of work like a maniac to get it going tonight. And within a couple years, I should say a couple hours, he had it up and running. But once again, it was one of those situations. So,
It's not
um,
lagging on my phone.
pardon me.
It's fine. It's not
Okay,
lagging
cool.
on my phone.
cool.
Okay. So Brad, how do they access the number? I can't remember.
On Facebook, on our
Okay.
page.
So we have it on our Facebook page.
Yep.
Is that where the
Yep,
number is?
where the link is,
I can also
Okay.
or I can put it in the chat
Yeah,
as
you can put it in
well.
the chat.
If I can get this to work.
Yeah. So folks, if somebody wants to call in and ask Sharon a question, that would just be awesome. If you have the time and I know it's kind of late on a Sunday night. Many of you have to get up early and go to work tomorrow, but I think we have it set up where you can call in and talk to Sharon and ask her any kind of question you might have or anything like that. Remember, I only have a couple rules. Number one, just try to keep profanity out of the questions if you can, and certainly show respect to us because once again, we don't want to be attacked by someone who's calling in with something rude to say to us. We're not doing this for any other reason, just to have some fun with it and to get the word out there to anyone else that might be interested in coming to Whispers or any of these other places. These are amazing locations that seem to be all over the Midwest, the South, and certainly the United States in general. Okay, I don't know if we're having technical problems or no one wants to talk to us, and that doesn't hurt my feelings. I understand.
It might
I'm
be a
not
little
sure
slow.
I would want to talk to me tonight. That's for sure. I've hadn't been here more than 45 minutes tonight. Spilled my drink and bumped my head in the back here behind us a couple of times tonight. I've lost things. There's several things that I've done today that I'm thinking like
We got
maybe.
one.
Okay, did we get a call in?
No. It's from Michelle downstairs.
Okay, there's our first call. Okay. My head in the back here behind us a couple of times tonight. I've lost things. There's several things that I've done
we
today.
got a
That delay here, but it looks like we did get a call. Brad, can we answer that call?
Yeah, Caitlin Johnson.
Caitlin? Okay, I can't hear Caitlin very well. Can you turn her up a little bit? Okay, there's our first
Okay.
call. Okay.
I can hear her on the
We're
phone.
hearing her phone.
My head in the
She's
back
streaming
here
on her
behind us
phone.
a couple of times tonight. I've
Okay,
lost things.
keeps
Going back to me. Done
we got
today.
a
The delay here, but it looks like we did get a call, Brad.
I can hear her.
Can you hear?
I can hear her through his phone.
Johnson.
Okay. Caitlin, how are you doing? Can you turn up a little bit? Okay, there's our first. Did we lose her?
I can hear her on the
We're
phone.
hearing her phone.
My head in the
She's
back
streaming
here
on her
behind us
phone.
a couple of times tonight. I've
Okay,
lost Caitlin. I can hear you vaguely. Brad, can you turn your phone up? Call, Brad.
I can hear her.
Can you hear?
I can hear her through his phone.
Okay. Caitlin, how are you doing? Can you turn up a little bit?
Oh, hang on. It's not
I'm
I'm
going
doing
through the
good. I can
phone.
hear you.
Yeah, I can hear her a little bit.
It's going through the phone and not. We'll have to hear.
Hold the phone up, Caitlin. I can hear you vaguely. Brad, can you turn your phone up? Call, Brad.
I can hear her.
Now let's try.
Can you hear?
I can hear hear her through his phone.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Caitlin, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Oh, hang on. It's not
We
I'm
do.
going
doing
through the
good. I can
phone.
hear you.
Yeah, I can hear her a little bit.
It's going through the phone and not. We'll have to hear. One
Hold the
second.
phone up to the microphone. I can hear you vaguely. If I'd have brought my roadcaster, folks, this wouldn't have been happening. So once again, the live phone calls, it's all my problem and all my mistake. Brad's trying to clean it up for me. So
I'm good.
those of you who know me probably are not surprised. I just turned 45, folks. You turn 45.
We'll have to hear.
Sharon just gave me a weird look. Do I look like I'm older than 45?
No.
I think I'm stuck at 45, you know. This wouldn't have been happening. So once again, the live phone calls, it's all my problem and all my mistake.
That
Where's
was
that
weird.
coming from?
So those of you who know me probably are not surprised.
We're trying, okay? We're trying.
For some reason, it's playing like 30 seconds behind.
All right, let's try it. You there?
Can you hear us?
I think she might have hung up. Caitlin, would you like to try again if you want to call back? I'm sorry about that.
Gotta love technology.
Can you hear us?
I think she's trying to dial us.
Hello? All right, let's try something else. Entertain until I figure
Okay,
this
I'm,
out.
I'm just glad we weren't doing a phone interview.
I say I could tell more
Sharon
ghost
was
stories.
Sharon was kind enough to drive all the way over here. I thought it would take you about an hour to get over
Yeah,
here.
about an hour.
Yeah, she was kind enough to drive over here, kind of last minute. Brad wanted to come over here today, and I was feeling just having one of those Sundays where rainy and nasty and gray, and I just didn't feel well. I haven't felt well all day, and once again, when you turn 45, these things start becoming a daily occurrence. I feel terrible, joking around about not feeling well because I know you've had some
Yeah.
issues going on.
You're fine.
Here I
You're
am
fine.
making fun of being sick, but
It's nice to hear that other people are not.
in all seriousness, I have felt terrible. I didn't even really. I was going to actually go see my sister-in-law in Columbus, and got really sick. It just hit me suddenly, and then Brad called me about 3 o'clock and said, "Hey, listen, are we still going down to that SWAT? I'm just not sure I have it in me, but um, just took a quick shower and kind of woke up a little bit, and then came down here with Brad and his wife Michelle. And I think I might have texted you on the way down because Brad said, "Hey, let's do a podcast." I said, "Well, Sharon's been saying she'd be more than willing to do one." So on our end, just very thankful you're willing to come down here, even if we can't get um, the phones working. It's just been fun seeing you again because it's been a while since I've seen you.
It has been a while.
Okay. So you and your two friends, are you guys planning, just besides the Whispers Estate, do you have some other investigations planned in the near future?
Well, undisclosed, yes.
Okay.
But I am going to Madison at the end of April for 2 days.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna stay there.
that place is on my bucket list big time. I've been wanting to go there, and I've had so many people tell me it's such a neat place
It
to
is.
visit. But I just I've got to just be honest, and I'm not making excuses. Owning this place, and I am a weekend warrior. I'm a musician,
Mm-hmm.
and when you add the music on top of trying to get down here as much as I can to help Sandra out, I just run out of time to do anything. And it is one negative about owning the house is before I bought the house, I was a lot more active in visiting other locations. So it's something I kind of miss tremendously, that excitement when your very first place, when you visit a new place. The Madison Seminary it's definitely been on my bucket list for several years now. I was wanting to ask you, have you been to the is it the Pittsboro Hospital there in Tennessee? Have you heard about that location?
Yes. I have not been there yet. I do want to go there for sure.
Okay, yeah. Brad and I and Michelle were talking on the way down here, And Michelle's been wanting to do a visit to Tennessee, mainly just do your typical tourist thing with the you know, the log cabin and or
Mhm.
the mountains and all that stuff. And I said, well, boy, if I think that place is just, I believe it's east of Nashville, so that would still mean it was what a good 2.5, 3 hours from Gatlinburg. But
Mhm.
if you're willing to drive that extra 2, 3 hours, there is a location that, owning this house, I meet a lot of people from all over the country. And anytime I get someone from the Tennessee area, northern Georgia area, anyone from the deeper South, they always, say that's a place that you have to visit. People see uh, full-bodied apparitions and the like there, which that's what, like I said, it's one of my goals
Mhm.
in this case.
I
Uh,
think it'll happen eventually.
yeah. Brad, are we about done with the phone? Or we lost it?
I don't know yet. Give me a second.
Okay, it's
He's
asking Brad.
trying.
Said verify you are a human. I mean, I don't even know how you do that anymore, but
That's kind of ironic in a haunted house.
yeah, and the fact it's probably AI asking Brad if he's a human, which is
Even more ironic.
well, we did have someone try to call in, but for some reason the technology didn't agree with us tonight. And we've had that happen quite a bit. I think this is our seventh or eighth podcast, and I've had two or three where we had these same type of technical issues. And once again, it's always my fault. I'm
Oh,
never not
is
ever
that
going.
is that a call?
Oh, the,
Hello?
said the call ended. We just got someone else that called, and
Try calling again.
we are missing calls. I don't know whose number that is, but it's an 812 number. That's Southern Indiana, I'm thinking. Um, yeah, and I heard the phone ring
I heard
in.
it ring too, and then
It
hung
was
up.
loud. So, before we shut off here and go off air, we'll give it a few more minutes just to give people the opportunity to come and maybe talk to us or ask Sharon a question here. Um,
Sorry, someone said they were going to call again.
yeah, or I guess several people are trying to call. And
Yeah,
it's
I'm reading the chat.
pardon me.
I was reading the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I probably should have kept my phone active. I think I turned my phone off, but yeah, I got quite a few people saying they're trying to
Oh,
call.
there you go.
Okay. It's killing my ears, that's for sure. It's ringing in, but
Okay, it
Hello?
should be on now.
Hello.
Hi,
okay. Hello, who are we speaking with?
Caitlin Johnson.
Oh, hey, Caitlin. How are you doing, young lady?
I'm good. How about y'all?
Okay, Caitlin's a Southern Indiana girl, so she got the
Woo!
y'all in there.
Yay.
Okay. Caitlin, how are you doing tonight? Appreciate you giving us a call. I know you tried earlier and appreciate your patience. So I know you've been to the house, what, 4 or 5 times at least, and have had some pretty, what I'd suggest, very interesting experiences here in the house. I know you have, Caitlin's one of those individuals the house seems to respond to her
Mhm.
presence. She seems to have developed a certain affinity to the doctor's presence in the house. It always seems the doctor's, his examination room and his waiting room, when she's in there, it always seems to be a pretty interesting moment when she's in the house, in that part of the house. So, Caitlin, did you have an answer, a question for Sharon? Is there something you'd like to ask her or comment?
Yes, I do. Sharon, I have a question. What is the most intense moment you had at the Whispers Estate?
Okay, she wants to know what is the most intense moment you've had at the Whispers Estate.
The most intense. Oh my gosh. It would have to be the scream I got with Jake and Clayton. Because
Ooh.
the fear in us, even after we turned off the cameras, the house just went nuts, and we were seeing stuff run up the stairs. And that was the first time I've ever seen Clayton run. So if my people are scared, then I'm scared.
Um, well, Caitlin, on your end, now that I think have you been to the house at least 4 or 5 times? I expect. I know you came with your mother one night.
Mhm.
What is probably the most intense experience you ever had? Can I reverse the question on you?
Yeah, sure. So I think probably one of the most like surprising and intense moments was when we were communicating with Dr. Gibbons through flashlight communication, and when I asked him if I could wear his lab coat, he actually turned on the flashlight, which meant yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like
And he actually kept turning the flashlight on and off like he was like happy about it or something.
yeah, like I said earlier, when Caitlin, when she visits the house for whatever reason, that is the area of the house.
Oh, you're good. You're
Sorry,
good.
a lot of people when they visit the house, many people immediately want to come to the second floor or the third floor, or the basement, and then a lot of people don't even really go back
Mhm.
into the doctor's area of the house. But that just seems to be an area of the house, Caitlin. I think you've told me before that you're naturally drawn to, and you always do have what I consider some significant experiences in there.
Yeah, and I think it's also because of the fact that we've talked about that I have similar, looks to Dr. Gibbons' wife.
Oh.
Yeah, from what we know about Jessie, she had brown hair. I keep hitting your mic. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
We kind of cramped in here with, but we all wanted to be close because we're all uncomfortable in this part of the
Oh yeah,
house
for
with our
sure.
back to
I know, I see
the
where y'all at.
yeah. Um, from what we know about Jessie, she did have, kind of a dark brown hair, which Caitlin has, and some of the features. And one of the theories is if the doctor's spirit is indeed in the house, certain females seem to rouse him up,
Mm.
and we have so many. I have so many guests who sent me pictures and videos of them being pushed or scratched in that area of the house that it is somewhat unnerving to a certain extent. So I think in Caitlin's instance, being young like she is, um, that maybe that similarity in her appearance as a young Jessie, if the doctor's spirit is indeed in the house, maybe that does attract him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean it's a good possibility.
yeah, and that's what I try to tell people. I teach a parapsychology course, and I try to tell people that the more I do this, I don't know about you, Sharon. I know Brad and I have talked about this, and Brad always has these theories that that's just the way he thinks,
Mhm.
something I would never even consider. But I think the more I do this, the less I know,
Yes.
the more questions I
Yes.
have, and I just don't. I
Amen.
don't have any answers. I got students go, so what's it like to chase ghosts? I said, well, about 90% of the time you're sitting around the dark house, the dark building, nothing
Mhm.
happens, but it's that 10%
And
that just
Yes.
grabs you. And here I am 12 years
I
later, a person that started out as one of the world's biggest skeptics, and I'm knee deep in it. And I don't know. I think all three of us have talked that if you could just do this for a living, it would be maybe the coolest profession in the
Amen.
world. Just
Yes.
travel all over the country and the world,
Yes.
and just you know investigate the paranormal. So, Caitlin, I know you're going to be coming back to the house pretty soon. Have you? I can't
yeah.
remember. Did you ever do the S's method in the house? I think you did the S's method, didn't you?
Yeah, I was sitting in that chair with my back facing towards the doctor's examination room, and that's when I felt the chair move like slowly, like trying to turn
Ah,
me
that is right. I
around.
remember that. She was doing the S's method, and the chair actually moved pretty aggressively of her in it, and everyone in there witnessed that. So,
Oh, we got
okay.
another call.
Okay. Well, Caitlin, listen, we're going to answer some more calls. Thank you for calling us, young lady. I look forward to seeing
Thank
you very
you.
soon. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you.
Did we get it?
If you
We've
called, try again.
we've got yeah. If you just called, try again. What was it? A 765 number?
No, 7317
A 317 number in Indianapolis number?
647 621.
See, I don't even know my own phone number
There
anymore.
we
Here
go.
we go. Hello.
Hello,
Hey, thank you for calling the Whispers Estate. Who am I speaking with?
this is Art.
Okay, Art. Well, Art, we do appreciate you giving us a call here. Would you like to ask our guest tonight, Sharon, a question?
Well, actually, I was going to ask because I've been there twice before. We had lots of things happen while when we were there, but you guys are sitting outside of the doors, the closet doors, where the bell, the bell that is suspended from the ceiling in
Mhm.
there was was twirling and twirling and twirling. And I don't know if that's ever happened before. Nobody touched it. My friend Kurt and I were in there, and it just kept twirling and twirling. And even after we left, it continued to twirl. And I didn't know if that's ever happened to anyone else.
I've had groups say that the bell rings loudly and that it twirls and moves. On a personal level, I've never seen it happen. I know I've had dozens of groups tell me they've experienced the same thing. Sharon, have you ever seen that happen?
I've only been in there in the dark, so I personally have not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, Art, Sharon has a pretty rough story. She had some people lock her in that closet as a joke, and she didn't have a flashlight, so I can't even imagine that. I'm guessing they're still your friends.
No.
So, Brad, what about you, young man? Have you ever seen the bell twirl? I don't know.
No, I've I've heard it. Um, I was outside the closet once and heard it
It was
ding, and then
spinning.
when I
It
opened the
literally
closet,
would
I saw it
spin.
moving, but it's hard
Yeah,
telling
it
if it
never
was
stopped.
paranormal or if it was just the wind or whatever.
Right. So, Art, you said it just kept continually did it then?
Well, we were sitting there, and it was suspended from, and but there was no movement in there, and the flashlights weren't on, and all of a sudden I sensed that something was happening to it, and Kurt turned his flashlight on and just pointed at it, and it was constantly spinning in one direction, which is another thing is that it seems like it would go backwards as well, but it didn't. It just kept spinning and spinning. There were two people there that were trying to prove everything in Whispers was just fake. And after we left the room, I stuck my head back around the corner of the door entrance, and these two people were standing there going, "I don't get it. I don't know why it's still spinning." Nobody was in there, and it just kept spinning.
Okay, so maybe you had a couple of maybe not full converts, but they probably at the very least left the house that night questioning their own level of
They
skepticism. Am I
they
right?
they had to. I mean, there were so many things that happened to us, but everybody was very in tune. The majority of us were very in tune with connections. And anyway, I had at one point, there was one time the table literally was scooting down, the little round three-legged table
Mhm.
scooted down the, the hallway. I mean, it wouldn't stop. It just kept going and going and going. And it was just, I've had lots of experience. We're coming back, we're wanting to come back in May. So
Okay, well
anyway,
that's awesome. I'll do my best to get down here and meet you folks. I don't know if Sandra gave you the tour or if you took a tour or I was here when you got here. But anytime people have those kind of stories, I do like to talk to them in person and share stories and
Leanne,
maybe get any kind of
if
evidence
you
you're
want to go
willing to
check
share with us.
Leanne,
And anyone listening,
uh,
if you have any interesting evidence on video or audio, if you want to send it to us through our website or email, we'll gladly put it on our website and our Facebook and give your group, full credit
well,
for the catch.
still has the best.
There's only a couple things on
I'm
our
sorry.
website that I've put up or Brad's put up or Saunders. I mean, about 95% on of the evidence on our website's been submitted by guests. So once again, anything you would
Kurt
have there,
recorded
that'd be
the bell
great.
spinning. Uh, my friend Kurt recorded that bell spinning that wouldn't stop. So
That's just
he
great.
has a recording.
Yeah, if
So,
you could
but
send that
we
to us,
all
we
wanted
would
to
love
come
to
back
put that
because we're kind
on
of
our
in tune.
website.
Well, I'll let you guys go, and so you can take other callers. But thank you so much for taking my call. Okay.
Well, Art, thank you, and thank you for your support here at the house. And I look forward to seeing your group here in May. Okay.
Okay. Be good.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
What a would say several dozen groups tell me something very similar about the bell in there.
Mhm.
It just, once again, I'm one of those people that I miss out on a lot of things, and it's like seeing Rachel. Um, I would suggest, since I've owned the house, at least 50, 60 people have sworn to see the little girl in the house. And once again, I've never seen an apparition. Did you see our video that the group shared with us of Gary's closet door opening
Mhm.
and the little dress spinning around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a group that they made that catch, and these people are, just really sincere investigators. So, and I don't let children in the house, so um, whatever that was, it looked like it was a child in a white dress spinning around by the closet door, which that's his, to this day, I think one of the best catches that anyone's ever shared with me
Oh
in the
yeah,
house.
for sure, for sure.
Well, if anyone else would like to call, we're willing to stay on here just for a few more minutes. If anyone has a question or a comment, if not, that's quite all right. Those of you who've took the time out on a Sunday evening, as we've got started real late, I know, like I said, everyone's got Monday to tomorrow to get their week started, and this gray, cold weather we've had the last couple days in Indiana is it's depressing enough. I'm aware of that. So, but Brad and I, we've talked extensively about the possibility of, trying to do one of these at least once a month, because when we wait 3 months, it's like the learning curve is, we have to start all over again. It takes us 3 hours to do something that should take us 30
Well,
minutes.
today it was exceptional because duct tape and paper clips is what we've got here.
It works.
Yeah, that's 100% on me. If Brad wasn't this really intelligent man who can make anything happen if you asked him to, I just don't know what I did with my podcast mixer. I have no idea. I hope I haven't lost it. I paid a lot of money for that thing. But now I think you and I have already talked about the very real possibility about your team maybe very shortly, maybe within the
Mhm.
next week,
Mhm.
getting those gentlemen here with you, because they got such experiences, and maybe adding them, and if you'd be willing to come back and do another one with us.
Oh yeah, I would love to, of course.
Okay, that would be great. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. It looks like two calls is better than no calls, and we do appreciate Caitlin and Art calling in. But I usually try to end these things within about an hour. I'm not. Oops, sorry about that. I'm not sure. Yeah, my goodness gracious, we're over an hour and a half. That is
It
a
did not
long.
seem that long.
Yeah, here I said 45 minutes to an hour, and I've kept Sharon here for an hour and a half.
Same time.
But once again, folks, if you have never been to the Whispers Estate, and it's a place you would have some interest in, we offer all night private group investigations from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. We do not have a bed and breakfast license, so we're not permitted to allow people to sleep in the house. And I know that's unfortunate for some people. So you do probably have to, arrange a drive back, or, if you're driving fairly long distance, probably have accommodations. There are local motels in Bedford and south of here. There's a lot of fairly nice places to stay. They're reasonably priced here in Indiana, this part of the state. It's not like staying in some place in Chicago, or even up in Indianapolis, where the prices are going to be more exorbitant. But if you have an interest in visiting the house, we love to have new guests, and of course, I always enjoy having people return to the house. Sharon has been here so many times, and people who just keep coming back. You build relationships with these people. So once again, just go to our website. It's real easy, www.whispersestate.com, and just click on, does it say make a reservation or book a date?
Either or.
Either
I
or.
think it says book a date. I just did it the other day.
Yeah,
So
book a date. So just click, and if you want a weekday, it's a Sunday through Thursday calendar, and then our weekend, Friday and Saturday. Just click on the month you're looking for. If the date's available, it's in green. The number is. Just click on it, enter your personal information, and once again, we just love to have people visit the house, especially new guests. It's always so interesting. One of the fun things about owning this place is all the people you get to meet, and 99% of the people doing this are doing it for the right reasons, and are just really, it's just really a lot of fun just to meet people. So young lady, I do want to thank you so much for making the drive over
of
here.
course, thank you for
Okay.
having me.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to have you and your two friends on maybe sooner than later.
Yes.
And I want to thank my good buddy Brad here for once again saving the day. I don't have any excuses, any hiccups or glitches tonight. 100% fall on me because, well, like I said, I just turned 45, and you get my age.
40.
But hey, he did bring chips. He brought a bag of chips.
Thank you, everyone. We hope everyone will come and visit us and